is Valley News Live at 4.
We begin this afternoon with breaking news. Fargo police are asking for your help finding a missing woman. 31-year-old Carrie Daughtry hasn't been heard from since last Thursday. Police say she's 5'5", 130 pounds with blonde hair and blue eyes. If you have any information on where she might be, contact Fargo police. We spoke with Carrie's family tonight on Valley News Live at 6. We'll tell you why they think her disappearance is suspicious. The Grand Forks double murder trial resumed today after the holiday weekend. So far today, the court has heard from the two deputies who were serving Solomon Pendleton an eviction notice before he opened fire, killing his mother and police officer Cody Hulty. Sergeant Kelly McLean gave an emotional recount of the events before body camera footage was shown in court.
It's just a loud crack. Numerous rounds, repetitive, loud. The apartment was full of the gun smoke smell, which is why the smoke alarm started going off again. It's sound that's different from any other gun that I've ever fired before. And I won't forget it.
Stick with Valley News Live throughout the evening for the latest from the courtroom. Some of us finally got some much needed rain. Hutch joins us with a first look at just how much fell. Hutch?
Stacey, thanks so much. It was much needed and a nice cool down as well. Now in and around the FM area, we have varying reports across the area, but out at the airport reporting 3/10 of an inch, but many in the FM area picking up a little bit more. And you'll see that as a general rule along Highway 200 and points south, many of us got at least some measurable precipitation. A lot of half-inch reports from around the area, including you in Oaks, as well as the FM area picking up between 6 and 7/10 of an inch in some spots. Big winter, nearly an inch in Wapton. Here's a look at what it looked like visually with the radar estimates showing that Highway 200 and south area picking up a half-inch to an inch where you see the greens and the yellows. Up north, not so much. Now factor in what happened on Saturday, those thunderstorms that rumbled through the Devil's Lake Basin. Many of us have seen substantial moisture lacking northwest Minnesota and portions of southeast North Dakota. And the next thing we turn our attention to, Stacey, if you've walked outside in the last few hours, is that throat itching stink out there. It's some smoke from Canada wildfires. Our rain is exiting and our temperatures are nice and cool. I'll have details in your hour-by-hour forecast on the smoke, how long it will stick around, and we'll talk about our next chance of rain and how long the cool stays around as well.
Fargo police say they received 182 fireworks-related calls since Sunday. And since fireworks are illegal within Fargo city limits, they responded to every single one of them. However, the number of citations given out is 0. One Fargo City Commissioner says the whole process needs to be regulated. He's calling the constant call and respond a drain on first responders and taxpayers. Tony Gehrig has a different vision for the next 4th of July. He's proposing to make fireworks legal in Fargo, offering specific places for residents to shoot them off safely. Tonight on Valley News Live at 9 and 10, we'll sit down with Commissioner Gehrig to learn more about his plan. We continue to follow the shots fired incident that happened Sunday in Moorhead. The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension has taken over the investigation. It happened near an apartment complex in the 2400 block of 4th Avenue North. Police tell us an officer was investigating a suspicious person when a foot chase started and shots were fired. No one was hurt. The only thing police have said is that they have a suspect in custody. They were referring all other questions to the BCA, who aren't releasing any new information today. A Fargo man is behind bars after police say he sexually abused the child of a family friend for years. The 22-year-old is charged with gross sexual imposition and continued sexual abuse of a child. Police say he assaulted the now 11-year-old girl several times between 2018 and 2020. He faces up to 80 years in prison if convicted. The sentence has been handed down to the North Dakota Air Guardsman convicted to raping a subordinate in 2019. 45-year-old Eric Clemenson has been sentenced to 5 years in prison, followed by 10 years of supervised probation. The victim let Clemenson crash on her couch because he was too drunk to drive. She told officers he climbed into her bed and raped her. Clemenson said he hoped he and the victim could just move on from the situation. Police have finally made an arrest in connection to the vandalism of a Jesus statue in downtown Fargo. 28-year-old Blair Witten is charged with a misdemeanor count of criminal mischief for the vandalism back in April. In May, she was charged with a count of reckless endangerment after crashing her ex-boyfriend's funeral. His family members say she tried to run them over with her car. Then in June, she was charged with criminal mischief for damaging the entrance to a South Fargo business. A Pembina County man is in jail on a $150,000 cash-only bond after being accused of rape. The North Dakota BCI arrested 51-year-old Kelly Jerome after the victim said she was assaulted in his home. She was left with bruises on her legs. Jerome didn't deny having sex with her, but claims it was consensual. Text messages between Jerome and the victim just after the incident showed the victim talked repeatedly about saying no and telling him to stop. A Grand Forks man is facing life in prison for sexually abusing a young child. 28-year-old Joseph Case is charged with 3 felony counts of gross sexual imposition. The victim's mother told police that Case assaulted her 8-year-old daughter on 3 occasions earlier that year. He later confessed. The Cass County Sheriff's Department is investigating a drive-by shooting that left 1 man dead. They say it happened in Cass Lake yesterday just before 3 in the morning. Deputies arrived to find a 34-year-old who was hit by gunfire while in a yard at a house party. No word on whether anyone has been arrested. We're learning more about a crash outside the Cass County Jail last Thursday. That crash happened around noon at 450 34th Street South in Fargo. Police say the driver fell asleep at the wheel. He plowed through a streetlight before coming to a stop on the side of the road. Charges of reckless driving and possession of marijuana are pending. Essentia Health is relaxing their visitor restrictions and returning to their pre-pandemic policies for most patients. COVID-negative patients are now allowed as many visitors as they want. Restrictions remain in place for those who test positive for COVID-19 or are suspected to have the virus. Essentia says they're continuing to follow CDC guidance on masking in healthcare settings. 4th of July weekend travel may have revived the COVID threat in the U.S., especially for unvaccinated people who are most at risk from the more contagious Delta variant. About 8 million passengers went through U.S. airports between July 1st and the 4th, nearly triple the number from last year. Errol Barnett is at Washington's Reagan National Airport.
There was a real sense of revelry on the 4th of July as an estimated 48 million people left their homes to celebrate.
It's good to be free again without the mask, at least outside.
But the growing threat is the Delta variant of COVID-19. It's 40 to 60% more transmissible, with indications it may cause more serious disease. It now makes up more than a quarter of all cases nationwide.
All this travel this weekend mixes people up. The Delta virus is traveling also. So it will be introduced everywhere.
Dr. William Schaffner is an infectious disease expert at Vanderbilt.
We may indeed see cases start to go up again, along with hospitalizations, and then down the road, once again, deaths.
Yesterday, California announced the Delta variant is now the dominant strain in the state, making it at least the 5th state where the new strain has taken over. In places like Arkansas, Wyoming, and Nevada, where full vaccination rates are below 50%, cases are once again spiking. Nevada Governor Steve Sisolak is trying to buck that trend, with his state leading the nation in new COVID cases.
$5 million in cash and prizes for nearly 2,000 eligible Nevada residents who have been vaccinated.
This gamble could help as long as people get their second dose. In Texas, for example, more than 1 million people skipped their second vaccine appointment, which is about 9% of those eligible.
In a recent UK study of the Pfizer vaccine, its efficacy against the Delta variant drops to just 33% with only 1 dose. It jumps to 88% with 2 doses. Bell Bank held its annual Ag Views Live conference this morning. Attendees ranged from local farmers and ranchers to finance and market experts. They talked about the drought, investment opportunities, and supply chain challenges.
But we really try to bring together all the stakeholders in the ag world, producers, ranchers, businessmen, even people who live in South Fargo, whatever, because as we all know, ag affects everything in this area. We're all connected to ag in one way or another.
With historically low interest rates, banks are seeing a higher demand for land and equipment loans. If you're looking to get outside while supporting local farmers, why not try a farmer's market? Now, West Acres, you can get fresh cut flowers, handmade soaps, shampoos, and beauty products. They even have organic meats, all from right here in North Dakota and Minnesota. There's also a farmer's market at the Moorhead Ace Hardware today. That's where you can find jams, jellies, or handcrafted items. The West Acres Farmer's Market takes place in the West parking lot every Tuesday and Thursday, now through October. If you want to head to the market in Moorhead, that's on Tuesdays from 3 to 6, now until September. Uber and Lyft drivers are switching to different gigs. We'll tell you the changes the industry may have to make and how it could affect you. Still to come.
Some welcome rain shower activity exiting our area. We'll have an update on Elsa. We'll have an update on all the smoke that you see across the region as cold air moving into the area for a change. Your hour-by-hour forecast is next.